Hello, this is Rena. Welcome to the Book Summary Library channel. Thank you for your hard work today. I would be happy if you could lend me your ears for a little while between work and housework. This channel delivers the essence of business books that you can learn while relaxing, even if you are busy every day. Now, what I would like to introduce this time is 50 MBA must-read books that the world's elite are studying in one book. This book is like a treasure chest that is packed with 50 classic books that are indispensable for business. When you hear MBA, you may have a slightly formal image, but this book is perfect for Japanese business people and is full of essences that are useful in our daily lives. For example, in the strategy chapter that I will introduce today, you can learn the secret of the growth of the convenience store industry and how to create new value. In addition, in marketing and leadership, it is full of little ways of thinking that can be used in everyday life. So, let's learn together. Just by listening, you will surely find points that make you think, I see. I will make this as easy to understand and relaxing as possible for you, so please listen to the end. Now, let's get started. 1. Strategy chapter, a new way of thinking to avoid competition. Let's start by talking about strategy. When you hear strategy in business, don't you imagine difficult meetings and scenes full of technical terms? But the way of thinking about strategy that this book teaches is much simpler. In fact, the most important thing is to avoid competition and create your own path to profits. For example, have you ever heard of 5 forces analysis? This is an analytical method for companies to find where opportunities exist in the competition. Specifically, you put your own company at the center and check the following 5 points. Strength of competitors. Threat of new entrants. Existence of substitutes. Power of customers. Power of suppliers, sellers. As an easy-to-imagine example, let's consider the convenience store industry. For example, in terms of new entrants, unmanned convenience stores coming from overseas could be a threat. And in terms of substitutes, drugstores and online sales might come to mind. The basis of this strategy is to analyze each of these threats and think of ways to reduce their impact. The key here is not to just beat the competition, but to avoid it altogether. One example is the idea of the blue ocean strategy. This is the idea of creating a completely new market without competing on the same level as other companies. For example, a 10-minute barbershop like QB House is a perfect example of this. By specializing in the minimum services required for haircuts and offering them at a low price without taking up too much time, they have created a blue ocean that is different from other barbershops. If you are tired of competition in your daily life or feel like you're at a dead end, it might be a good idea to try incorporating this strategy a little. It will give you an opportunity to think about, what is it that only I can do? 2. Marketing chapter, the secret to captivating customers' hearts. Next is the story of marketing. This book teaches us that the basis of marketing is to think from the customer's perspective. In fact, this is a perspective that is often overlooked in Japanese companies. It teaches us that the first step to success is to get away from the idea that, if we make a good product, it will sell. For example, think of Starbucks. You don't see many TV commercials for Starbucks, do you? And yet, they have a strong presence as a brand. Why do you think that is? It's because they continue to keep their promises to customers. When you go to a store, you'll find a relaxing space and heartfelt customer service. This is what they mean when they say that brands are made with trust. Even more interesting is Coca-Cola's marketing strategy. You might think that it's a brand supported by heavy users, but in fact, the majority of Coca-Cola's sales are made by light users who drink only a few bottles a year. That's why they have adopted a strategy of making it stand out to light users as well. They place their products in prominent locations and also sell related products such as Sprite and Fanta, expanding their market with the idea that it's enough if people choose one. This perspective can be applied to our daily lives. For example, if you're giving homemade sweets as a gift to a friend, you'll think about that person's preferences and come up with creative wrapping and flavors. In the same way, thinking from the customer's perspective is the basis of marketing. And the evolution of marketing is also important. This book introduces the idea of emphasizing the acquisition of new customers as the latest marketing theory. For example, in the American automobile industry, new customers account for half of sales. Figuring out how to attract these new customers is the key to greatly expanding your business. Try incorporating these ideas into your work and life. Just thinking about how to make the other person happy may make your daily life a little more enjoyable. 3. Chapter on Leadership: The Power to Promote Change. Now, next is a story about leadership. This chapter contains a powerful message that anyone can become a leader. When you hear the word leader, you tend to think that you need some special talent or title, but in fact, that is not the case. To become a leader, you need the power to bring about change through action. This book introduces 8 processes for transforming a company. I'll explain it a little more in a gentler way. For example, it is important to first share a sense of crisis. This is about creating a situation where everyone feels that we have to do something. This is the first step to getting everyone moving. To give a concrete example, there is a story about a long-established Japanese confectionery shop in Japan. The shop had been loved by local customers for many years, but one day a competing store released a new type of Japanese confectionery, and customers stopped coming. In this situation, not only the owner but all the staff shared a sense of crisis. They all came together and said, "We have to do something new," and brainstormed new product ideas. As a result, cute Japanese confectionery that looks good on social media was born, and it became popular among the younger generation. Also, achieving short-term results is also part of change. This means that it is important to share small success stories with everyone. For example, at the Japanese confectionery shop mentioned above, sales of the new product increased significantly on the first day, which gave the entire team confidence and led to the creation of even better ideas one after another. The essence of leadership is not pulling alone, but the power to move forward while involving others. This book also introduces the example of Konosuke Matsushita and describes how corporate culture changes when everyone comes together. Why not try to incorporate some of this leadership thinking into your workplace or home? Even if you don't take a big step, the accumulation of small actions can have a positive impact on those around you. 4. Chapter on New Businesses and Innovation: How to Create New Value. Next, we will introduce new businesses and innovation. In this chapter, it is argued that the idea of how to combine existing things to create new value is important. Even if it is difficult to create a new idea from scratch, it is possible to create new value by combining what we already have. As an easy-to-understand example, this book gives the iPhone. The iPhone is not made entirely of completely new technology. It is just a combination of existing mobile phones, iPods, and internet communication technology. However, by making it into a form that can be done with one device, it has caused innovation all over the world. In addition, there is a story like this. When a bakery was stuck trying to develop a new product, they came up with the idea of combining local specialties with French baked goods. As a result, a new sweet was born that combined the sweetness of the local specialty with the sophisticated technology of France. It was a big hit and became a product that attracted attention not only from locals but also from tourists. In this book, we call this kind of idea new combination. In other words, it is combining existing knowledge and technology in a new way to create new markets and value. 5 approaches are recommended for this. Create a new product. Find a new production method. Develop a new sales market. Discover a new supply route. Explore a new organizational structure. For example, the recently popular food delivery service is a perfect fit for this idea. It connects restaurants, existing, with smartphone apps, existing, to provide the value of enjoying delicious restaurant food at home, which is a new market. If you are thinking of trying something new right now, please try using this idea of new combination. Just by thinking about how to combine the things around you, the scenery in front of you may look a little different. 5. Chapter on flow experiences, happiness gained by immersion. Next, I'd like to talk about a slightly mysterious topic called flow experiences. In a nutshell, flow experiences are a state of being immersed in something. Have you ever had the experience of not realizing that hours have passed and thinking, wow, it's already been this long? That is exactly the state of flow. This book talks about how this flow experience has a huge impact on our growth and happiness. For example, when a university professor investigated people who are prone to flow experiences, he found that those who read books or engage in creative activities had the most time to do so. On the other hand, people who spent a lot of time lazily watching TV without doing anything tended to feel less flow. That's why it's important for us to consciously create time to be engrossed in our daily lives. Here are 3 conditions for experiencing a flow experience. Having a clear goal. For example, the key is to have a specific goal, such as writing a blog post in an hour or being able to play your favorite song on the piano. Immediate feedback on your actions. You need moments when you are doing something that make you feel like, this is good enough. If you play the piano, you think, yes, every time you hear a beautiful sound. A balance between challenge and skill. It is important to choose a goal that is not too difficult, but not too easy. If it is just the right level of difficulty, you can concentrate so much that you lose track of time. It is said that this flow experience actually leads to happiness. Having time to be absorbed in something enriches our hearts more than acquiring money or status. If you want to incorporate this way of thinking into your daily life, you might start by creating a small challenge. For example, if you like cooking, you might try a new recipe that requires a little effort. As a result, tasting the finished dish itself is likely to become a happy time. A flow experience is not just concentration, but a feeling of growth and joy all together. Why not incorporate that fun into your daily life? 6. Chapter on give and take, gaining success by giving. Next, I will talk about the idea of give and take. This chapter discusses the importance of giving in building relationships with others. However, giving does not simply mean sacrificing yourself to serve others. Rather, it teaches us that giving in a way that considers the success of the whole will attract success. People are broadly divided into 3 types. Givers. A type that always thinks of others and supports them generously. Takers. A type that puts their own interests first and tries to get something from others. Matchers. A type that tries to build a fair relationship with others. At first glance, it seems like givers are the ones who lose out. But in reality, it is the givers who are the most successful. For example, people who volunteer and contribute to their communities actually build rich relationships through their activities and ultimately achieve great results. However, this book also teaches us the difference between rewarded givers and unrewarded givers. Successful givers are those who do not sacrifice themselves too much and act with the interests of the whole in mind. On the other hand, unrewarded givers continue to give despite their limitations, and as a result, they often fail to make themselves or others happy. For example, here is an episode. A salesman made proposals that put the interests of the customer first, and as a result, the customer thought, this person can be trusted, and he gained repeat customers and referrals. On the other hand, another salesman only pursued short-term profits, so he was unable to build trust with his customers and gradually lost results. This difference speaks to the power of a giving attitude. givers also affect personal happiness. A survey conducted in the United States found that people who volunteered had higher life satisfaction and reduced stress and depression. In other words, being a giver is a way of life that leads not only to the happiness of others, but also to your own happiness. Please try to be conscious of giving little by little in your daily life. For example, help a colleague with their work at work or prepare a little surprise for your family. That may be the trigger for the creation of a new relationship of trust. Now, let's summarize what we have discussed so far. This book, a compilation of 50 MBA must-read books studied by the world's elite, is not just a summary of a business book. It is full of hints on how to change our daily lives. In strategy, rather than winning the competition, we learned the perspective of finding new ways to avoid competition. Use the blue ocean strategy to create your own market. Hints are hidden in everyday life. Looking for your strengths and values that others have not noticed may open up new possibilities. In marketing, we learned the importance of the customer's perspective. Instead of selling products, make the other person happy. As a result, you gain trust and build a brand. This way of thinking is useful not only in work but also in human relationships. In leadership, we were given the courage to know that anyone can become a leader. What is needed is the attitude of trying to change the people around you with your actions. Just by creating a small success experience and sharing it with your colleagues, you will surely be able to bring about big changes. In new business and innovation, the idea of new combinations was introduced, which combines existing things rather than creating something new. The content gives hints on how to create value by devising what is in front of you. In Flow Experience, we learned how much time spent immersed in something increases our sense of happiness. Finding something that you can become so absorbed in that you lose track of time will greatly improve the quality of your life. And in the last, Give and Take, she taught us the important way of life that by giving, you can make yourself and others happy. The idea that giving to others will also lead to your own success is very positive and touches the heart. What this book teaches us is not just business skills, but the seeds of thinking that will help us live a better life. It is up to us to plant the seeds, water them, and grow them. I hope today's talk will be the first step. Finally, a word from Lena. Thank you very much for your hard work today. If you work hard every day, you are surely making progress little by little. I hope this channel will be of help to you. We will continue to deliver more wonderful books to you with the aim of becoming the best book explanation library in Japan. Please support us by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Let's continue to learn together and have fun.